start right here with the chameleon kit since we're standing here. It's a 100% North American birch kit. What we're looking at here is we've got the chameleon lug, which is a design that we came up with so we can customize the kit after the fact. Again, it's 100% North American birch. All the plies are 7-ply for every drum. We fully wax our bearing edges on all of our kits at the factory. We're using reverse flange hoops on the snare drum.
Yep.
So you get the strength of the die cast without choking out your drum. And we're using brass wires on all of our snares.
Nice.
So some of the features. Oh, we're also using corrosion resistant screws in the insides of the drums.
Can you explain this lug? What's the idea there?
Lug. The reason it's called chameleon is because as a drummer, one cool feature that we can't do usually is customize our kit after we buy it. You could always buy new lugs, and you have to spend time to take all the lugs off your drums, swap them out, hope that the holes line up. But with a chameleon lug, just pop out the insert, and you can completely change the color of the kit, yellow, red, white, whatever you want.
Oh, that's cool.
All the integrity of the lug is in these two parts, and this is an ABS material, so it is a high-dense rubber material that won't wear out on you, but you know, all the integrity of the lug are in these 2 points here.
That's pretty cool. So this is the Sublime series.
This is Sublime series, and in Sublime we have maple, we have Abinga, and we have birch. This kit is one of our maple kits, and what we have here is what we call our bridge lug. It's a C lug. It's a bridge, so we get some of the lug off the shell, so you have a little less metal touch in the shell. We've also designed our own 4-point suspension mount, so you get a fully floating tom without having to wrap all the way around the drum. On all of our kits as well, we use the crushed tom bracket with a mating memory lock. So when you take your tom off, your memory lock stays.
Oh, that's cool.
But when you put it back on, it keeps it real clean. It keeps it in the right spot. You know, you don't have a bracket and a memory lock.
Now, is that a feature on all the kits or just this one?
On all of our kits.
Okay.
The other thing that we do is the crush badge is the crush badge. We want to make sure that when people see it, they know it's a crush kit. So we designate all of our series at the bit hole.
Gotcha.
So you'll see the Sublime or Chameleon, whatever it might be. So on this kit, this is again 7-ply, all the shells maple, because we wanted an open drum. We're using the reverse flange hoops again on the snare drum, and on this kit we upgraded to our crush throw off. We call this the crush chevron. Got a few fingerprints on it.
Oh, that's a pretty chunky throw off you got.
Absolutely. It's got a nice smooth touch to it.
Yeah.
Works really well.
So as long as we're here, I see a whole bunch of different snare drum options here. We've got different types of wood, some hammered brass. Is that what I'm looking at?
Snare drums, we have solid shells. So we do solid shells and maple, Abinga, ash is what this one is. Abinga solid shell. We do a bamboo solid shell.
Wow, okay.
Then of course we have the hammered. We have hammered steel, copper, brass. We do a phosphor bronze rolled or beaded shell. We're a little, more traditional, as well as, just a standard chrome. So this snare is phosphor bronze. Again, it's cast shell. Reverse flange hoops. That's one of my favorites because it really lets the drum open up. The great thing about the C4 snare, here's the badge there, is that a portion of the proceeds from these snare drums goes to the National Veterans Foundation.
Oh, that's very cool.
So when we came up with the concept of doing cast snare drums in 4 different materials, C4 made sense, but then C4 also ties in with explosive, still a snare drum thing, explosive snare drums, but we can also tie it back in and do something for our community. This one is also in the Sublime series. It's 100% North American maple, but what I've done on this kit is changed up the bearing edge and the construction a bit.
So how would you describe the bearing edge?
So we call it the Sublime Tour. On the rack toms, you get 6 plies with reinforcing rings, and then you get dual 45 bearing edges with a slight roundover. On the bass drum, it's 8-ply with reinforcing rings, fully rounded bearing edge. So you get a nice little thump out of it.
Nice, yeah.
On the snare drum, it's a 10-ply with a single sharp 45 inch, and you get the crack. So between the bass drum and the snare drum, you just get the ultimate of low end and then the snap.
The two extremes, yeah.
So again, I kind of built this kit for me. You know, it features our 4-point mount again, as well as all the other supply parts. So fully composite fiberglass shells.
Wow.
The great thing about them is you don't expect a composite kit to have warmth, but these drums have a ton of warmth. So you kind of get that boominess of an acrylic kit with all the warmth of a wood kit.
So you're calling it a composite. What is this composite of?
Well, we have the fiberglass shell, and then all of our bearing edges are carbon fiber.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so the bearing edges on these are carbon fiber for added strength.